Hey everyone, I wanted to go over the new and exciting news that we have for Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak on both the Nintendo Switch and on PC via Steam, as we're going to be talking about the changes that we have seen for weapon crafting, Qurious crafting for your weapons after the 4th free title update. Essentially, all the new bonuses have been revealed for each one of the weapons. So in this video, I want to try to showcase pretty much all of that, signal boost this information, so everyone is fully aware just how great weapon crafting has become, and especially the reason why you may want to grind yourself all the way to Anomaly Investigation level 200 to 220, since you're going to be needing some of those Risen Anomaly Investigation Elder Dragon parts to be able to unlock some of the last tier items. So certainly it's going to be a little bit of a grind, but it's going to be a worthwhile one, especially for some of those weapons that we're going to be talking about today. But first and foremost, I want to give a huge shout out to Shincry, link in the description below for their original thread on the subreddit. Also, huge shout out to Echoes Part 1 for the Monster Hunter meta, which kind of put all of this together. Shincry put up the little chart you're going to be seeing, and Echoes put up the pretty much the raw data. So certainly huge shout out to them. Link in the description below. Signal boosting this because I think is very important for players to have a full understanding just how valuable boosting your weapons has become, in the same way that you need to be leveling up your defense armors, especially if you're fighting the new Risen's Anomaly Investigation monsters. Those hit extremely hard, and raising your defense and resistances is going to help you go a long way. But essentially what we have here today is a chart kind of showing pretty much every single one of the weapons and the tiers that they unlock, the benefits that you get for each one of the tiers that they unlock. And we're going to start out with the Blade Master, aka Sword and Shield, Longsword, Dual Blades, Hunting Horn, Switch Axe, Charge Blade, and Insect Glaive. On the top left side, you're going to be able to see that if you have raw or status weapons, this would be non-elemental based weapons. On the second tier, essentially on the second boost that you do, something that you should have already done, you'll get +5 raw. On the third one, something you should already have, is another +5 raw. Fourth, +10 raw. Fifth, +10 sharpness. And the last one, this is the brand new addition, +10 raw. The total would end up being +30 raw damage and 10 sharpness. That is the benefit from using raw weapons or status focused weapons. However, on the next tier and the next line, you should be able to see that those same weapons, Longsword, Sword and Shield, Dual Blades, Hunting Horn, Switch Axe, Charge Blade, and Insect Glaive, are going to have any weapon that has any type of element, just at the very minimum one element. Remember, some of the Dual Blades have 2 elements. You're going to be able to start getting elemental boost, and the trade-off is going to be raw damage. So on the second boost, you're going to be able to get +5 raw, then +6 elemental, +10 raw, +10 sharpness, and then the latest tier, the newest one, +200 Anomaly Investigations, you're going to see +12 elemental boost. So the trade-off from raw weapons to status weapons to elemental weapons is going to be about 15 raw difference, but you get 18 elemental bonus. That is the biggest trade-off right there. If you have elemental weapons, you know how valuable they have become at this point in time, especially with the newest Risen Crimson Glow Valstrax armor. A lot of people are going crazy over that thing with just all the resistances, all the armor you want to crank up on that. And on top of that, it changes into raw attack power and elemental benefits. So certainly you want to take advantage of that, and going with the elemental weapon and boosting it and maxing that out as best as possible is going to give you the best return bang for your buck. When it comes to hammer and great sword, you're going to notice that when it comes to elementals, you get +5 raw, +10 elemental, +10 raw, +10 sharpness, and 20 elemental. So with these two specific weapons, when it comes to element, these get the biggest amount of benefit, because what you're essentially getting here is a +12 element on top of all the other weapons that they already got, but you still get to keep the same 15 raw plus attack, and you still get to keep the sharpness. So these two weapons specifically get more benefit. Now hammers, kind of iffy right now when it comes to just how powerful they really are, but a great sword is certainly beneficial. One of those really powerful weapons. You see plenty of highlight videos, people using that thing and just doing insane numbers, so certainly want to keep your eyes peeled for. Now when it comes to the lance and the gun lance, you're going to see something that they kind of fall right in between the other weapons. +5 raw on the second tier, +7 on the third, +10 raw on the fourth, sharpness on the fifth, like every other weapon, and +14 element on the final build. This is the 200+ one. So you're going to notice that you still get to keep the 15 raw plus damage. You get a +21 element, which is still more than all the other base weapons, but less than a great sword and a hammer, and you still get to keep that 10 plus sharpness element. So, you know, you do have that benefit right there. Now, gun lances are kind of like the hot topic for some people, certainly out there. They keep trying to get everyone to check them out. They're a little iffy for me still at the end of the day, but, you know, the fact that you're just playing ultra defensively whenever you want to be, that is always a good benefit to have. Now, the sad part here is the last part of the chart that you might be looking at, and you might have been wondering, well, all those X's and all that red cannot necessarily be any good, and that is just the damn truth. Basically, heavy bowgun, light bowgun, and bow are just pretty much raw dependent. They all have the same pretty much setup. Second, fourth, and fifth, 6 boosts. So heavy bowgun gets +5, +5, +5 on the last one to +15. Light bowgun gets the minimum boost whatsoever, but again, it's the most powerful weapon still in that regard. +2, +2, +3, and then bow gets +3, +3, +4. So not a lot, not a big benefit here. There's no elemental boosting when it comes to bow guns, but of course, you know, you have those elemental shots, elemental pierce, so that is how you kind of end up making up for it. Plus raw is not really all that beneficial for every shot. I guess it could be if you want to look at it in a specific way, but having some type of elemental boost would have gone a long way. Hell, even an extra shot on some, you know, elemental shots, or maybe, you know, sticky or something. Just give gunners something a little bit extra, but they decided to just stick us with raw, and that is the way that it goes. So, you know, a little bit of a sad turn of events when it comes to when you look at this chart and you're a gunner, you're like, yep, this is pretty much, you know, I'm already powerful enough as it is. The developers don't necessarily want to give us all that, and the fact that the third and the fifth boosting tier from augmenting Qurious crafting for your weapons don't actually give you anything, that is just pretty sad if you ask me. But yeah, that's pretty much all the information that I have for you guys today. Once again, huge shout out to Shincry for the lovely chart that you're looking at. Link in the description below for the original thread. If I do find them, if they made a video on this, I'm certainly going to be leaving a link in the description below to that. Huge shout out to them. Once again, signal boosting this information, I think, is very important for people to have full context that all the weapons are certainly getting benefited, unless you're a gunner, which you certainly don't need all the help. And another shout out once again to Echoes Part 1 from the Monster Hunter Meta subreddit. If you're brand new to my channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up. And as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya.